one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I apologize for the delay. First item is approval of the November 17th study session minutes.
Mr. Mayor, I noticed one typo, and I'm probably sure it's just reverse the times on there. The time for the executive session was, you had it at 6:33 or 6:38, and then we had adjournment at 6:33.
Yes, 6.
6:26.
Yeah.
And then reconvene at
I was
6:38.
just proud of myself, I got something. That was it.
Recess at 6:26, reconvene at 6:30.
That's 12 minutes later. Rick, right?
No, this one,
Which one? Where?
although it says we convene at 6:38 and then we adjourn at 6:38 on the next page.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
6:38.
oh, okay, because I didn't even see that.
So it's 6:38, we reconvene back
Far
in.
enough, got it.
So would there be a motion to approve as amended?
Yes.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next up, public comments. Hearing none, we'll move on to old business. Discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the proposed changes to the ATV section of the Butler Municipal Code.
Passed out the last meeting, passed out the version of the broadcast tunes, and this is just it again.
I had a question for Mr. Mauer.
Yes, sir.
On number 6, let me see what page. It's on the second page, item number 6. It says ATVs and UTVs shall not be operated at any time upon any street or highway under the governing body's jurisdiction. What, because I thought this was to allow.
I think what we were trying to do there was to where if for some reason the city said we're not allowing it now, for example, when we're having the festival or something like that, then we could say, yeah, but we're suspending it for that occurrence. We can clean that up if you like.
Yeah, I just, that's what he's from.
Yeah, okay.
For then other questions or concerns?
Daryl, can there be a comment made?
Sure.
On the rules that you all have on that, it states that the unit can't be over, I believe, 68 inches wide? Is that what it
Says 67.
67, and the new stock ones, without any modifications, are 72 inches wide. So is that technicality gonna disqualify some of them? Or, you
During the
know,
inspection.
by the rule, or by the ordinance, it does?
And we can amend that to,
Can that be amended to like 74 inches, and that way a stock UTV does qualify for that, you know? Because right now, it doesn't allow a lot of the UTVs to do that.
Yeah, that's another second paragraph.
Oh, we have are the UTV supporters back there, is that,
We do.
Yeah.
that's what you guys think too?
She found that earlier, and the stock ones they're 72 inches
Yeah.
wide. You know, they limited them, or I'm sorry, used to, the narrowest point was like 50 inches, and different parts would allow 50 inches narrower. And then above that was at different parts. Well, now they're making it even bigger than they used to, so 72 inch is kind of the going thing now, but,
Yeah, just make sure we have, I figured.
right.
And then, I mean, can I ask a question about this? As far as the kids being under 16 and having helmets, is that for the UTVs as well? Like, because all of ours are insured and they have 5-point harnesses that everybody straps and they have full pages. So in that case, would a helmet really be needed for anybody under 16? I mean, I get it for a four-wheeler, but for these that actually have cages, most have roofs, most of us have big tall doors, all of our harnesses are 5-point harnesses for the most part, so I didn't know if that could be amended to
well,
just
do
use.
they all come stock that way or not?
Yes, all of them come with 5-point harnesses.
Seatbelts, regardless.
Okay, because I heard most, not all, so.
They all have seatbelts,
All of them have seatbelts.
but most have 5-point harnesses, yes.
I know my Gator just has a regular seat belt.
Right, and some do just have your cross seatbelts.
Mr. Mayor, I mean, we maybe put a change in there stating like, as long as it meets the criteria that she described, like it has a roof,
Location.
the harness or seatbelt, then they wouldn't have to wear.
Or you would strike the UTV, because the ATV, I think, the UTV is the side-by-side that would compete. with-
Right.
The ATV is gonna be more like the four-wheeler where you would want, I think there'd be value in minors
Right.
wearing that also.
Yeah, that's what.
Absolutely, yeah, all of our kids would definitely.
So if we just strike the UTV out of that, then that would,
Yeah, that's what I think.
Mr. Mayor, can we strike UTV just unilaterally, or do we need to make a new section for UTV?
We can do it either way,
Okay.
whichever way, you know. I think striking it out would be fine in that one provision, but we can do it however you like.
You know, on E-3.
Do we, are we in agreement that you want those UTVs on the road?
So you're gonna have one.
Yeah.
Is there any other edits? I guess if you make edits, then we could bring it back to
Yeah,
the next
we'll
meeting.
do that for the next
Final.
meeting.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Question. It says that it has to be properly registered and permitted with the city of Buckner. Who has that authority?
The police.
That's where it goes to. Okay, thank you.
All right,
Was there,
next-
excuse me, was there money on that as far as registering?
I believe it's 30.
I was thinking $30.
Yeah, but I knew it was on golf carts, I just didn't know if we had that in here.
I don't
Wouldn't
remember
be
if that.
quite right to charge a golf cart for nothing.
Everybody knows people with golf carts.
That's if you don't, if you're in the rough, it'll be 50.
do we need to add that to the ordinance?
What's that?
The $30?
I think it's already in there
I
somewhere.
I was looking for it, that's what I
I
thought.
didn't, yeah, I didn't see
Because I
it.
think it's, is it part of that chapter 395?
I know I saw it. So I see what it says it has to be.
I'm with you, though, I couldn't see the helmet on that. I couldn't see, I thought that was a little bit too much.
It says
I don't see a dollar amount anywhere.
It may be on that compliance 49 CFR 571.500, talking about the low-speed vehicle permit.
Where was that statute listed?
It was on page 2D. I was wondering if that was-
Okay, yeah, CFR
I was
571.
wondering if that was somewhere embedded into that one.
Whatever it is, we'll find it, and if
Okay.
it's not there,
We'll put it in.
It's the same fee as a golf cart.
Okay,
Thanks.
that'll work. Thanks, sir.
Yep.
Right, next item. Mr. Mauer.
Bill number 2214 is an ordinance 10-1076, an ordinance imposing a sales tax at a rate of 3% on all tangible personal property retail sales of adult use marijuana sold within the city of Buckner, Missouri pursuant to Article 14, Section 26.5 of the Missouri Constitution, subject to approval of the voters of the city of general municipal election to be held on April 4, 2023, designating the form of the ballot and directing the city clerk to provide notice of said election. You want me to address that one?
If you would, please.
You bet. As well known, in the most recent election, Missouri passed the constitutional amendment. Now, possession of marijuana under 3 ounces is legal. And then the question becomes, well, what can cities do about it? And one of the things that we can do is you can put a sales tax on it, so it's treated much like tobacco or alcohol. There are very limited dispensaries yet, and so it's not like somebody's going to open up a pot shop, right down on Main Street. We don't have to worry about that. But should they ever do that, do we want to collect sales tax on it? And if you don't do it this way, you won't get your sales tax on it. So
Maybe everybody will want to come here.
well, you might, don't know, but it would be, it would be on the ballot like anything else, but this is the hoops you have to jump through. If you want the sales tax to apply, we need to go through this process based on the constitutional amendment.
And was there some restrictions on the use of that, is it related to like public health or?
Oh yeah, you can't use it out, you have to use it indoors, it has to be, you can't be walking down the street burning.
No, I mean the use of the tax revenue. I thought there was. some
Oh, there
provisions
is,
in
but
there
it's
restricting the revenue.
It's kind of fuzzy.
Okay.
We obviously don't know, have any interpretations on what the public health use means, but to me, public health use is pretty broad. Pretty broad.
So it has to be a dispensary, like Dollar General couldn't start selling it.
I don't believe that Missouri is going to allow that
Okay.
yet. Who knows how it's all going to play out. I'm still trying, I've got another city still trying to figure out, so what do I do with my drug sniffing dog? Because my dog alerts on marijuana. Now what do I do with that? So, and it's no longer a proper search. And so there's just a whole lot of issues that are,
It seemed like that amendment was 18 pages long.
Oh, yeah,
By the time I was reading through it.
No one read it. No one knows what's in it. And, we've got another one. Another issue is by federal law, you have to drug test employees, and and if they're going to have a CDL and things like that, but it's legal. And so what do I do? Yeah, there's just a whole lot that's going to have to get sorted out. But the one thing that we know we can do is we can put a sales tax on it if people want to vote for it. So that's all this one does. That's kind of the
just
first
sales
step of
tax,
many.
Just for the marijuana, just the marijuana.
Yeah, that's just the
It's
city piece. There's already, I think, a 6% state, federal, or
Right.
state and county, whatever.
Right.
But they just said municipalities could only go up to 3%.
Right. This is just our slice if we're going to get any.
Any questions? Not take a motion to suspend the rules.
So, hey,
Second reading. I guess all in favor of suspending the rules.
aye.
Any opposed?
Bill number 2214 is ordinance 1076, an ordinance imposing a sales tax at a rate of 3% of all tangible personal property retail sales of adult use marijuana sold within the city of Buckner, Missouri pursuant to Article 14, Section 2.65 of the Missouri Constitution, subject to approval of the voters of the city general municipal election to be held on April 4, 2023, designating the form of ballot and directing the city clerk to provide notice of said election. Second reading is bill number 2214.
We need a roll call vote.
You-
Motion to put this on the ballot.
I'll move. Second.
Now we'll have a roll call.
Alderman Betts.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman Wilcox.
Aye.
Alderman Lewis.
Aye.
Alderman Cole.
Aye.
Okay, sounds like it passed. Next up, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding Diamond Computers proposal. You see that there was a couple of Microsoft licenses, one I think for the police and one for the city. And just getting our servers back up to speed, so I think helping harden them a little bit against hackers. It's more than I'd like, but not god awful. think it's about $7,500 for the two of them.
They're kind of general.
But I think I can, put some stuff too, because the sewers also help a lot of sewers going, so we can try to take some out of a lot of sewer fund too.
Any discussion?
Yeah, we were just discussing over here where that money comes out of.
Yeah, I would see the general fund certainly for the CD.
Yeah, and
The other
that's
one,
what
I think, depending on how we allocate the software, I mean, some of it's gonna be used for,
Water and sewer.
yeah, say,
So we can,
general operations, so you can take it out of some of those other funds, so
Yeah.
prorated, so that fee.
Motion to approve both the computer bids.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Number 3, discussion, consideration, possible action regarding bids for lawn mowers. Mr. Butts.
Yeah, we have, oh, there it is. We have one mower that's currently up and running, and then we have some down there that are older and dirt and we can't get parts for. So I asked JD if he could get pricing for some different mowers, and in the packet, there's a bunch of pricing in there. I'm keen myself on the Bad Boy, the ZT Avenger 60-inch zero turn. For the price, I just didn't know as far as fund-wise, if we have the funds to go ahead and purchase that before pricing goes up once we hit the pre-season for the.
Right now, we have, I think, about 33,000 in the general fund, but we also have a payroll of 21,000 that will be coming up next week, is that right? And there is $15,201 worth of outstanding checks. So I think that leaves us with about
Right.
$6,000
I
or
didn't know
$7,000
Yeah, I didn't know
in the
what
bank.
fund that would come out of. That's what-
Yeah, it would come out of the
It'd be the
general
general fund, okay. So something to look at, think about, I guess, when we get to the new year.
Next up, elected officials' comments. Mr. Butts.
So they did patch the holes down there on Central. I'm curious though, Joe, if, once we hit spring and summertime, if we can get a hold of MoDOT, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but I think the base is going out at Central 24. That's what's causing the waviness. I'm curious if they could come in and just tear that up and actually fix it right. And if they could fix the stoplights too, go up, mill it up and put new asphalt in there, that might solve our pothole problem in those spots.
I'm going to ask Mrs. Miles for a second. This Saturday night, 7 o'clock is the Christmas tree lighting, but there'll be something, the festivities start sooner, right?
Yes, it's 6 o'clock, the parade coming down South Hudson here. That starts at 6, and then probably all the choirs will be singing at 6:30. The tree lighting, we plan at 7 o'clock, and then everybody can walk around and come in here for some of the things we have going on in here.
So hopefully everyone can make it. I think it sounds like a great activity. Well, is that the park and fairs and festivals working together on that? Okay.
Yeah, we also had some other volunteers too, so there's quite a few people that are trying to do it.
So thank you to everyone who volunteered, and I think it's going to be a great time, so come on down. Hear nothing else? Yes, sir.
I was curious,
You're on my
and this
blind
may be more of a chief hacker question, I'm not sure, but does our police have access to mental health services like therapy or things of that nature?
I think that there's an EAP in there.
Is Dugan PR, medical insurance provider.
Oh, okay.
24-hour hotline crisis and all that.
Okay. Can we see if we can get an email out to them just explaining that process? I'm not sure that they're aware. And maybe they can find an healthy outlet to express some emotions.
There's nothing else, take a motion.
Mayor,
Go.
you might reiterate the fact that we're having a shop with a cop December 3rd.
Yes, and I've got $3,500 worth of gift cards for that, and I left them laying on my dresser. So, yes, that'll be on the 10th, I believe.
10th, I believe, and I think, according to the minutes of the last meeting, and there's a breakfast here at 8 o'clock, and then I'll proceed from there.
Yes, working with the school to identify families, and so, think of that, that's sort of good stuff that'll be happening here. Joe?
Yeah, I just want to report, we had Zeno come out this week. They started on Monday, and when they came out to work on the water meters, they're not working. We had 177. Yes, this morning, we was down to 77, and they was working all day today to get those last 77 done. And plus, they're gonna come in tomorrow morning and work for 7 till 10 o'clock, 'cause they got a flight, they got to catch at noon at PCI. And they're gonna finish up, so the meters should be 100% working by tomorrow, all meters.
Hey, Joe. I just want to give you an update before the meeting tonight. I got off the phone with a couple of them guys, the two guys over here. We only got 45 left out of 177 that are not, like Joe said, they're gonna be here in the morning, and I'm coming in early so we can get them done. Right now, we started out at 71%. As of tonight, before the meeting, we're at 94% of working, so we're getting there.
Thank you, we appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no kidding, thanks.
Third time's a charm. If there's nothing else, I'd take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Hopefully see you all on Saturday night.
Rest